Hello everyone, my name is Makova Kevin, founder and CEO at For Example Farm, small social enterprises I established within Vihiga County. I'm a Yali alumni, a One Young World Enterprise for Peace ambassador, and a Youth for Climate advocate, a program established by the Italian Ministry of Environment and Energy Security and funded through the UNDP. For many years, we have enjoyed moments of bliss and wonderful experiences as young people going to one of the most interesting sites in this area, which is along River Ezava. We would go down the river to experience swimming, to carry out footballing activities, work with other young people in collecting herbs, collecting small animals like wild rabbits and all. This was all an experience that was established through a cultural system that had been ingrained in us by our forefathers. But a phenomenon is slowly coming to our reality, joining deeply into the conversation of climate change, ecosystem degradation, and loss of biodiversity. This is happening right under our watch. Slowly, nature is being overtaken by our human greed, ignorance, and arrogance. But to what effect? We are experiencing land misuse, river pollution, and other undeniably ignorant experiences that we believe if no one takes action today, there'll be a huge danger for future generations. And that's why we introduce to you Climate Culture, a podcast and a discussion around a relationship between youth, culture, and climate. The Climate Culture podcast will help us explore 12 important topics that we believe are of relevance in youth, climate, and culture conversations. We'll take time to look at what young people are doing in various demographics, through groups, through individual work, the interventions that young people can do to reintroduce these experiences of nostalgia and the good old days to a society that is gradually facing existential threats that have been occasioned through ignorance and arrogance. We will have an engagement around culture. We'll sit down with our cultural knowledge holders to discuss what happened before and how it might be applied today and affect the future. For instance, things such as the protection of indigenous trees that were used for medicinal purposes, ideas around protection of cultural sites like Itumbi, which is a circumcision site for the Cherokees, among other important cultural aspects. We'll also go deeper and look at the concept of the green economy and opportunities for the future, mostly discussing the concept of how young people can exploit the opportunities that are being brought forward by the climate change phenomenon. The Climate Culture podcast will take time to have an interactive conversation with stakeholders on these important matters. We'll talk to young people in youth groups, in community-based organizations, as well as those working individually about their role in climate action. We will go deep down the policy road, talk to local leaders, local MCs, local member of parliament, local county executive committee members, to just discuss with them how they can contribute to a policy conversation that builds into protection, conservation, and restoration of natural ecosystems, mainly rivers and riparian land. Not to miss a point with the young people. We'll sit down and bring to their attention the amazing opportunities that are opening up in the green economy. In the words of one of my most interesting leaders, President Joe Biden, who says, when we see climate change, what do we see? We should see opportunities. We should see opportunities for restoration of these natural ecosystems. Further, we'll take our time to explore issues around carbon credits and our role in determining how much we produce as carbon footprints to the natural ecosystems and how we can help mitigate it. There is no problem with mining, but some of our young people go to the riparian land ecosystems and just mine without understanding the science or the realities of the time. There is no problem with farming, but some of our farmers do not utilize better practices that ensure water safety, the use of proper fertilizers, and an interesting conversation around regenerative agriculture, organic farming. Some of our farmers do not apply these technologies, and it's not because they do not know or they do not want to. It's just because this conversation has not been triggered and has not been properly explored. This discussion will not just be a conversation around the things that have failed. We will go deeper to look at what can we do to make better from the things that we have done. For instance, Progressive Youth Group, a group of young people that has established a number of nurseries for producing fruit, bamboo, and indigenous tree seedlings. We will have a conversation on the role of artificial intelligence in building systems for ecosystem restorations, climate change, and even information distribution and generation. This is just a flow that we seek to deliberate on these matters. The Climate Culture podcast is gradually going to grow into a public dialogue forum where we sit down with young people and discuss these matters, have them explore these ideas and have them contribute to the overall conversation. As we welcome you, our listeners and viewers from across the world on this important platform, we also hope that your contributions will be listened to. We will have live webinars where engagements with multi-stakeholders will be streamed and or will be welcomed from across the globe. For instance, a discussion with a young girl in Egypt farming in a village called El Badari, and how improper farming practices in a village in Munugi can affect his irrigation farm in El Badari will surface. We all owe it to Mother Nature to be grateful for the opportunities we have received and also contribute to the betterment of the natural ecosystems, both for ourselves and for future generations. This conversation is multifaceted. It has political ramifications, huge social impacts, and economic implications. We thank our partners, the USAID, Kenyatta University, the Young African Leadership Initiative, Youth for Climate Initiative, funded by the Italian Ministry of Environment and Energy Security, and through the UNDP for the amazing support they have offered to us so far. But on this platform, we are welcoming all of you to contribute, collaborate, and build a conversation. We hope that as we build a platform for conversation, we will greatly establish a platform for future engagements. We shall be having this 13 episode first season of the Climate Culture podcast live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook platforms at Climate Culture. We will also upload links to our official website that will be live in a week's time on cats.net. And our conversation is specifically based within Vihiga County in Western Kenya, a small rural town called Mbale. You can reach us through email at contact@foreserver.org or drop us a call or a text message on WhatsApp on 0786 107 106. Thank you so much and welcome.